Well, we're going to find out tonight. And how many of you guys brushed your teeth today with that OG smile? Well, guys, we are definitely going to find out tonight. Isn't this pretty exciting? Yeah. Look how packed it is. Look around. This is incredible. Now, let me tell you something. My name is Suzanne Cherrick. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a sapphire, soon-to-be diamond. Yes, but so are all of you, just so you know. Right? Right? How many guests do we have in the house? Raise your hand if you're a guest. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Rex, do they really know what they're in for tonight? No. Do they have any clue? No. You have no clue, let me tell you. You have not a clue. I am so privileged and definitely humbled to be able to bring to the front the individual who, honestly, is the record pace-setting diamond executive in our company. That is absolutely incredible. He actually came into the business back in November 1st, okay? Got started and broke the record for becoming the fastest diamond, 28 days. 28 days. Just for you guests who don't know what a diamond is, okay? There's about 400,000 representatives in our company, okay? A diamond is one of the top leadership levels, and you have to do a minimum of $200,000 in a calendar month. There are a lot of business owners who have businesses for years that never do that kind of volume the entire year. Do you understand that? Yes. But not only did he do it in 28 days, but that same month, he broke a 29-day diamond. That's pretty incredible. On top of that, him and his wife, Kiana Crump, were actually $100,000 income earners in just 90 days in the business. Six-figure income earners in 90 days. Some people don't make that entire year of working. 2 years of working. The average American takes 3.5 years to make that income that he made in 90 days. You think this might be the right opportunity? At the right time? You guys are definitely in the right place. On top of that, I told you he was not only record-setting, but he actually produces better records than what he set. Okay? Back in June, in his organization, he helped produce the current fastest day diamond in our company, 11 days. So how many of you feel, yes, put your hands together, that's incredible. How many of you feel that you could learn from someone who did it in 28 days, then did it in 29 days with someone, and then got even better than that and did it in 11 days? That is absolutely incredible. That's the individual that's going to be in front of you this evening. He's definitely a family man, has a beautiful wife, so definitely cares about people. He came all the way out here to actually speak to all of us in this heat. We just got to tell him thank you for doing it in this heat, because it is hot in here, right? Well, guys, I'm not going to take any more of his time, but get ready to actually be in front of greatness. Make sure you have your piece of paper and a pen. Turn your cell phones off. There is nothing going on out there that you need to be in tune with than what's going on in here. All right? And you know, there's something about being uncomfortable. How many ladies in here have had a baby? Did you have to go through some uncomfortable days and weeks and months to produce that big-headed baby? Right? Yes? Well, right now, I'm pretty uncomfortable because I sweat very, very easily. But when you're uncomfortable, big things happen. So get ready to give birth to your diamond baby this evening. And help me welcome Mr. Ramon Crump, Diamond Going Blue.
How you guys doing, Sacramento? Sit down and take your seats. How you all feeling on tonight? Well, guess what, guys? It's hot in here, but we're going to turn up the heat a little more if y'all don't mind. Well, first of all, I just want to say that it's a pleasure being here. And you never, ever can take for granted when someone allows you to come into their community and share. So I don't want you guys to think that it's a actual something that needs to be done. I want you to understand that I truly understand that it's a privilege to be here. And I just want to honestly say thank you guys for all the hospitality and the warm welcomes that I've had since I've been here so far. So I just want to say thank you for that, Sacramento, and I appreciate it. And I can't wait to get back with you guys again to be here. Before I dive into the information, if you don't mind, I do want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Damon Crump. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Currently where our international convention is going to be. Down in New Orleans. And straight out of high school, I went into the United States military. Okay? Honorably served my country for 4 years. Guys, I remember when I actually was leaving, the captain of our warship, Captain Wyman Howard, he said to me, Damon, why are you leaving, son? You have such a promising military career. And I'll never forget that I was 21 years old at the time, and I told him, I said, sir, I can't see giving you guys 30 years of my life, and I never get a chance to own a part of this. Because even as a young man, it just didn't gel with me with someone else controlling my time, my destiny, and my income. See, I want you guys to understand something. I've always subscribed to the philosophy that if you don't have a vision of your own, you'll always be enslaved to someone that does. Yes. So I went back home to New Orleans, Louisiana. I started detailing cars. Needless to say, a lot of people were laughing at me. This guy left a promising military career, and now he's washing cars. What's wrong with him? See, these guys didn't understand how important those 3 factors were for me. That's the way that I fed my wife and 4 kids. Have a beautiful wife that I've been married to now for 18 years. And I have 3 beautiful daughters. And I have a 19-year-old son that has cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. That's how my wife and I take care of him full time. And I thank God that my wife have not had the need to work in almost 20 years so that he can get that full-time care that we know that he deserves. And furthermore, I don't feel that a woman should work. I feel she should be taken care of. So some of you guys, it's going to be a long ride home. I hope you stay around the corner from here. Because if those ladies don't remember anything else, you remember what he said right there? If they check out on me, they're going to remember that. So fellas, you're in trouble on the way home. But seriously, guys, then Hurricane Katrina struck. You guys know the story. Lost everything we had. And we actually evacuated to Atlanta, Georgia. So now, I'm in Atlanta with 2 days worth of clothes, my wife, my 4 kids, and a special needs son. So now I'm praying, not for a job, I was praying for an opportunity. And I'll never forget, a friend of mine called me on a Monday. He owned a Century 21 franchise. He says, Damon, I want you to come to my office Saturday for 2 p.m. See guys, I was the dream prospect. I was literally marking the days off on the calendar. I couldn't wait until Saturday at 2 p.m. I actually arrived at his office at 1 p.m. I was there before he opened the doors. Let me tell you why. Because it blows my mind how people act like getting free information costs them $50,000 to hear it. It's free. Come out, make an assessment. If it's not anything you can put in your portfolio, great, we'll move on. But the point that I'm making is, most people are in the situations that they're in life because they've been listening to themselves too long. See, you've been taking advice from you. And that's why you are where you are. And now when you have a chance to assess information and get it, you refuse to receive it. Guys, at that point, I'll never forget the young lady was doing the presentation. I politely raised my hand. I was sitting in the back of the room. She said, excuse me, sir, we're not taking any questions at this time. I said, no, ma'am, you don't understand. I don't have any questions. I'm ready to get started. Because, see, my prayer was answered. I didn't have to go back and re-pray. I didn't need to go talk to my pastor. Because, no, seriously, guys, the prayer was already delivered. We did very well with that company. After being with that company for 2.5 years, I was in Atlanta with 2 days worth of clothes with my wife and kids, figuring out what I was going to do. At the age of 37, Mr. Dion, I was now receiving a retirement from that company. Free medical insurance, free life insurance. I sat on a governing board that was determining policies for over 100,000 distributors in the field. But then a 25-year-old kid called me about this opportunity. When he called me, he was broke. I didn't understand why he was calling me. Guys, he says, the mind. He says, I want you to get on a plane, and I want you to fly down to Houston. And I want you to come take a look at this company that we're launching, Organo Gold. I said, David, what is it concerning? He says, coffee. I stopped him. I said, hold on, stop right here, David. I said, number one, I want you to understand something. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. So, David, here's what I want you to do if you don't mind. I want you to lose my number on this one. And I said, good luck with that coffee thing. Wow. I hope you guys do well. Go get them, champ. We hung up the phone, and I was with 3 other of my friends, and we started laughing at the kid. These guys have lost their mind. They're going around knocking on people's doors, selling coffee. Guys, I got a text message as time went on. David is a persistent guy. David Imuniti, in case you guys don't know who I'm talking about. David is a persistent young man. Every 3-4 months, he would contact me, he would call me, he would let me know what's going on. All right, good, David. I didn't believe him. I was hearing the stories of all the things that was happening in his life. Still didn't believe it because I knew the kid was broke. But then this was the backbreaker. A friend of mine contacted me from Detroit. They say, listen, I want you to go to this website, businessforhome.org. That website tracks the top 100 income earners in the world. And guys, on that website, guess who was number 73 on the planet? Out of every company out there. Little broke David. How many of you guys knew at that time? Romacia. I woke up and smelled the coffee. So guys, when I actually saw the vision of this company, I was blown away. Let me tell all of our guests in here on tonight. You think you know what this company is, I promise you don't. We're going to take some twists and turns on tonight, and I'm going to make a bold statement to you guys. I'm giving every guest in this room permission not to believe me. Now, when have you ever come to a presentation and the guy in front of the room, he's telling you, don't believe me. So for all our skeptics in the room, because skepticism is only valid in the absence of logic. The only time you have a right to be skeptical about anything is if it doesn't make sense or the pieces of the puzzle don't add up. But tonight, I promise you that won't be the case. Here's what I want you to understand on tonight. I don't want you to believe me, but I do want you to believe the evidence that I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you on tonight that Organo Gold is the best opportunity on the planet. And when we get finished in here, you're going to agree with me. Because you will not be able to deny the validation that you're going to look at. What I'm going to do for you guys is, I'm going to do for you what I would want you to do for me if I was sitting in that seat. I would want to walk out of here without a doubt in my mind that I'm making the right decision on tonight. Is that a fair assessment? Yes. Guys, this first slide right here that you see, Organo Gold, bringing the treasures of the earth to the people of the world. This particular slide is so significant to the entire mission and vision of this company. Most of you guys think it's here just to be here. But I promise you, it has validity. And I will show you that in the course of the actual presentation. I'm not going to ask you guys to say anything on tonight, but this one phrase, you ready? It's easy. It's easy. It's simple. It's simple. It's coffee. It's coffee. If you make it any more complicated than that, you missed it. Let me tell you why. Because see, Warren Buffett, the world's most renowned investor, multi-billionaire, he based all of his investment strategies on one simple principle. You ready? He says what you do should be your hobby. What the world does should be your business. See, it doesn't matter how you feel about the product or service on tonight. We're not here to cater to your emotions. If you want to be emotional, go to our counseling sessions. Tonight we're here to talk business as business men and women in here tonight. And guys, what I'm saying to you is, I violated that principle. Because I said to myself, I don't drink coffee. I thought nobody did. But here's what I want you to grab on tonight. A good friend of mine His family owns 26 Burger Kings in New Orleans, Louisiana. I asked him one night when we were out to dinner, I said, Andrew, why do you guys own all of these Burger Kings and you don't eat beef or hamburgers? He said, Damon, we didn't buy the Burger Kings for us. We bought them for y'all. Smart businessman. See, he wasn't caught up in what it was that he was doing. He understood what the world was doing. Guys, I want you to see this. Organo Gold has been able to tap into 5 of the fastest growing industries on the planet. I'm going to prove it to you. The first one being health and wellness. Evidence, exhibit number 8. This is a book by a gentleman by the name of Paul Zane Pilzer. He's an economist, multi-millionaire, New York Times best-selling author. Guess what Mr. Pilzer says? That the health and wellness industry is a $600 billion a year industry. It's soon to be $1 trillion in the next 3 years. He says this is where your next wave of millionaires and billionaires are coming from. The health and wellness industry. Uh-oh. I had to give Organo Gold a check for that one. So far, they were 1 for 1 with me. Because Organo Gold didn't tell me about this book. I found this on my own. Let's look at evidence number 2. Home-based business. See, guys, it blows my mind how I watch tax-paying citizens. You ready for this? Who are losing money through their taxes because they don't have a home-based business. You remember I told you guys at the beginning, some of you guys are in the situation you're in because you've been listening to yourself too long. Okay. And you've been talking yourself out of a home-based business for years. Well, let me tell you why you need a home-based business. The national average is 39 to 46% that someone pays in income tax coming out of their checks. So most of you guys, you're overpaying in taxes. That's why you get a refund. They overtax you, they allow you to take the deductions, and they give you the balance. Yep. But here's what I want you to grab. Many of you guys don't even know that the federal government gives you 55 cents per mile on your gas when you have a home-based business. Many of you guys are complaining about the gas prices. Well, do something about it. Never complain about what you allow. Secondly, do you guys realize that a portion of your mortgage, a portion of your rent, a portion of your internet, your cell phone, your utilities, a portion of that is tax deductibles? That's bills that you pay every month anyway. But by you having a home-based business, you're able to deduct a portion of that off. Do you guys realize that if you carry children on your taxes between the ages of 7 to 17, you can legally hire your kids up to $5,950 per child? We don't believe you, Damon. I know you don't. That's why I came with the Tax Times. This is a tax newspaper. It has nothing to do with Organo Gold. Look what it says on the cover. Home-based business is the best tax strategy ever. That's what I want you guys to understand on tonight. The wealthy understand tax incentives. Bill Gates says he attests a lot of his wealth to his working knowledge of the tax code. Warren Buffett pays less percentage-wise than his secretary. See, there are 2 tax codes, 2 sets of people that the taxes are for. You ready? The informed and the uninformed. I want you guys to understand something, because I know what you're saying. I can read your mind. Damon, you don't understand. You're in California. And you printed that little newspaper up on your way here in the car. Well, I didn't have time to print this. This is a book by a gentleman by the name of Sandy Botkin, former IRS attorney, CPA for over 32 years. Look what he says in the first chapter of his book. Why you would be brain dead not to start a home-based business if you don't already have one. In other words, the man's saying you literally have to be losing your mind if you're paying taxes and you don't have a home-based business to recoup more of your money coming back in. Guys, I want you to understand something on tonight. I'm watching people have part-time jobs, working 2 and 3 jobs because of their lack of information. Because they don't want to put themselves under the shelter of a home-based business, which will immediately stimulate your income. So far, Organo Gold is 2 for 2 with. Third industry is weight loss. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Multi-billion-dollar industry. Every other commercial you see on television is endorsing weight loss. The round mound has lost a few pounds. Charles Barkley. He's endorsing weight loss. Charles Barkley, Janet Jackson, Jennifer Hudson, Dan Marino, Chris Berman. Guys, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that weight loss is a viable industry. It's an industry to be involved in. They're 3 for 3. The fourth industry is the internet. I love what Mr. Bill Gates says. He says if you don't have a business on the internet, you don't have a business. He says e-commerce is the wave of the future whether you like it or not. We all have to agree that Mr. Bill Gates knows a little something about money. Let me show you why 97.5% of the world's population who's either middle class or poor, let me help you understand why they're suffering. You ready? Because they don't know how to identify what's called market shifts. They don't know how to see where things are going. They don't want to be merchants in market shifts. They want to be consumers. 97.5% of the world's population love to spend. They don't want to own anything. But watch this, guys. Let me help you out and help you understand what a market shift is. Is there anybody in this room right now that's listening to their music in their car with an 8-track? If you are, raise your hand. Some of you guys are too young to know what an 8-track is. Because the industry has shifted from 8-tracks to cassettes, CDs, MP3s, iPod players, all market shifts. Here's my next question. Anybody in the room who invested in those companies when they made those shifts, raise your hand. Ever since, we've been traveling around the country. That's hardly anybody that's able to raise their hand. One gentleman put his hand up for it. But everybody has those products. I want to help you with another market shift. Is there anybody in the room that invested in Nokia or Motorola when they went from pages to cell phones? Raise your hand. Everybody in this room has a cell phone. See, what I'm trying to get you to understand is your visionaries are able to see where things are going. And they're positioning their families for generational wealth because market shifts do not ask for your permission. They take over whether you like it or not, and you are part of it whether you like it or not, because everybody in the room has a cell phone. The point that I'm making to you guys is you're witnessing a market shift right now with this company. This is a Google, a Facebook, a Microsoft moment. I'm going to prove it to you on tonight because numbers don't lie. You guys don't even understand historically where you are right now. Let me tell you the problem that many of you guys are going to battle with in here on tonight. You ready? You're going to be so focused on the opportunity, so you're going to miss the vision. Oh, DeMond, what do you mean? Clean that one up. Let me help you out. Bill Gates, when he was launching Microsoft, he introduced it to 8 of his friends. 6 of them walked out, told him it would never work. The only 2 stayed with him was Steve Ballmer and Paul Allen. Both of those guys are billionaires now. You know why? Because they were not caught up in the opportunity. They saw the vision of where it was going. Yes. They wasn't concerned about what was in front of them. And most of you guys, you are too caught up in your immediate circumstances. You're afraid to look at where it's going and position your family for generational wealth. Let me share something with you guys on tonight. Anybody in here has ever heard of the Lido Wealth Conference? I know you probably haven't. Let me tell you why. For you to attend this conference, you have to have over $100 million in assets. You have to be chosen to attend. And at the Lido Wealth Conference, they teach your family how to have wealth for 5 generations. See, the wealthy are preparing for 5 generations down the line, and you sitting here worrying about your light bill. And the reason why that's so is because when you have an opportunity to change things, you want to remain the same. Fifth industry is coffee. When I started getting the vision, I was blown away by what I saw, guys, because I couldn't believe the true vision of this company. You ready for this? I didn't know that coffee was the world's most consumed beverage on the planet next to water. I didn't know that. I had no idea that coffee was the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. Wall Street is now calling coffee the new black gold. Many millionaires and billionaires, they're now putting coffee in their portfolio. This one got me right here. North Americans are currently consuming 500 million cups a day. Americans alone are consuming 400 million, and we are still number 27 in the world per capita in terms of coffee drinking. I want you guys to understand something. Coffee is a $90 billion plus a year industry, and it has been around since the 12th century. Mr. Holton Boggs, our executive VP of sales. I remember when I was getting on a plane, going down to Houston, Texas. I was going to meet with Mr. Boggs and these guys. And I'm going down there. Yeah, they're making all this money with coffee, huh? Well, I'm going to see, because there's no way these guys can be doing this well with a beverage, watch this, that I don't like. Here's what I want you to grab on tonight, though. Mr. Boggs said two things to me that rocked my world. Before we even got into the meeting, I already was done with Organo Gold. I knew I was in. Here's the first thing he said to me. He says, Demond, I want to ask you a question if you don't mind, sir. He says, 50 years from now, 80 years from now. He says, 200 years from now. He says, do you think people still will be drinking coffee? My answer obviously was yes. He says, well, the only question you're forced to answer on tonight is, whose coffee will they be drinking? Because you have already agreed that they're going to be drinking it. Let me tell you how what he said was 100% correct. James Folgers, a 27-year-old kid, he started Folgers back in the 1850s. It's currently 2012, am I correct? Yes. 1850s, 2012, 162 years. His family still has us believing that the best part of waking up, this presentation should be over. I should be able to go home, go back to the hotel and relax, because you have just proved the longevity of an industry after 162 years. And his family is still getting paid. When was the last time you heard of a coffee company that flopped? Guys, I want to share something with you on the power of this industry. Here's the second thing he said to me. Romacio, he blew my mind when he shared this with me, sir. He said, Guy, I want you to listen to me, Demond. He says, when I looked at Organo Gold, I looked at 22 other companies. He said, the only reason I chose Organo Gold over every other company that was out there, he says, for the first time in my life, my residual income was going to be tied to people's habits. Checkmate. What I'm trying to get you to understand is coffee is not driven by economics. It's driven by habit. When a person has a habit, it doesn't matter what's going on in their life economically. That habit never takes a hit. We don't believe you? I'm going to prove it to you. Have anybody in this room ever heard someone say to them, you know, I had to quit drinking because the economy is bad? I've never heard that one. Well, you know, I had to quit smoking because I was laid off last week. Let me prove to you what he said is correct. You know how sometimes you go to the gas stations and corner stores and you may have those guys in front of the stores begging for $1 or $2, help them out. Well, if you go down to New Orleans, some of those guys are my uncles. They love to beg. Every time I come around, they always want to beg for money. But here's what I want you to understand, Miss Christine. Every time they're begging, you know what amazes me? Is that they have a beer in one hand and they have a pack of Cool Filter Kings in the other hand. How in the world you never have any money, but you're able to supplement your habits? The point that I'm making to you is the same principle applies to coffee drinking. Mr. Boggs says, Damon, listen to me, son. You don't have to coach this one. You don't have to convince on this one. You don't have to sell this one. He says, Damon, it's already being done to the tune of 500 million cups a day. Young man, put your hand in a pot that's already brewing. Checkmate, I was done. There was nothing else for me to evaluate because the principles of the industry was too solid for me. There was no way I was able to deny the success that I was seeing. But let's look at some of the conglomerates that's involved because I want you guys to see this. You ready? We're going to get it to move. Don't worry about that. Starbucks has already made it fashionable for individuals to pay $5 per cup of coffee. They make us look real good. McDonald's, I thought they were a hamburger company. Do you guys realize that over the last 6 quarters, McDonald's has made billions in coffee? Mac Cafe, the next time you go get those fries that you love, flip your receipt over. On the back, you're going to see Mac Cafe. What happened to all the playgrounds for the kids at McDonald's? All of them are being designed now to have that cafe vibe to them. Did you guys pay attention to the fact that McDonald's now offers free Wi-Fi? People are meeting at McDonald's now and consuming their Mac Cafe. They understood the industry. Did you guys pay attention to Dunkin' Donuts? They changed their logo from 2 donuts to a coffee cup. America runs on Dunkin'. A donut company. Did you guys pay attention to Subway? They introduced breakfast so they can get a piece of the coffee market. Did you hear about Taco Bell? They're going to be launching breakfast to introduce Seattle's best coffee. Did you guys hear about Walgreens? They're coming out with W Cafe. Did you guys hear about Kmart? Here's the point that I'm trying to share with you. And this what breaks my heart. You watch people come into a presentation like this, they see all of this evidence, and they're going to leave here and they're going to talk to their broke coworker who just borrowed $200 from you. And you're going to ask them, what should you do about this opportunity? Do you think I should do it? But hold on. Not only that, you're going to go talk to your uncle who has a degree in clinical psychology. He's never done any business. But because he's supposed to be the smart one in the family, you're going to consult with him. So you're going to forget about the evidence that you're looking at. That doesn't matter. Because McDonald's board of directors, they don't know anything. Dunkin' Donuts attorneys, when they changed all those logos and it cost them millions of dollars, they didn't understand the industry they was getting in. But I want to share something with you. I had one of my best friends when I was making this transition. Now keep in mind, guys, he's broke. Because I don't base my friends upon financial status. I base my friends upon the heart and the spirit of the man. I'm sitting in his home, and I told him, I said, hey, listen, man, I'm about to make this transition with Organo Gold. That coffee thing? Those coffee people? Oh, man, come on, tell me you're not going to do that. I know you're not going to do something like that, man. You'll do anything to feed your family. Here go the confirmation. I wouldn't do that if I was you. I politely looked at him, Miss Ann. Guess what I told him? I said, that's exactly why I'm going to do it. Because anything in your life you're willing to do or not do, I'm going to do the total opposite. Because I don't desire the results that you have. And furthermore, I would never take advice from someone I wouldn't trade places with. I said, and if you know how well things are working out here, I need you to explain to me, why isn't it working for you?
Come on now, come on.
But you want to tell me with all the evidence that I see that it can't work. Let me share something with you guys. Successful people They look for clues so they can follow them. Broke and average people look for facts so they can deny them. See, you want a reason not to do it. You want to be able to justify your fears. See, you praying when you leave here that somebody tell you it's not going to work. You want them to tell you no. I wouldn't do it if I was you. So you can relax and you know what? That was what I was feeling anyway. And you confirmed the fear that I already had. I just needed somebody to tell it to me. I want to show you guys something on tonight. Evidence is what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Fortune magazine came out with the 2011 Business Person of the Year. They took the top 50 executives on the planet. Warren Buffett was on the list. Jeff Bezos, Tim Cook, Ralph Lauren, the CEO of Coca-Cola, CEO of MasterCard, was on the list. Guess who was the #1 Business Person of the Year, according to Fortune magazine? A gentleman by the name of Howard Schultz. You guys know who that is? The CEO of Starbucks, a coffee guy, was the #1 Business Person of the Year, according to Fortune magazine. And you think I have time to listen to a broke friend? And I'm looking at all this evidence confirming, young man, that you're in the right industry? Starbucks is making billions of dollars. And now I am in the same arena with them? And you want me to second think that? You want to challenge this type of evidence? See, guys, I already told you. That's why some of you are where you are. Because you love listening to you. I want you to understand what that's like. For you to leave here on tonight and you go ask somebody what they think. I'm going to show you what that's like. Mr. Dion, can I ask you a question? Have you ever saw the movie The Life of David Gill? What you thought about it? You like the beginning or the end? How can he give me his opinion about a movie he never saw? If you want me to take your advice or your opinion, come give me the courtesy to sit in these seats like I did. Then now, I can potentially accept your ignorant opinion. Because you're speaking from a standpoint of ignorance, you have never taken the time to look at it.
That's right.
Once you're able to do that, then we can have a conversation. But until then, your opinion is invalid. I want you to understand something. If you have a person that does that to you, and you allow them to rattle your excitement or your faith, and you saw it, they don't have the problem. You do. Because they never even looked at it. And you're going to let them talk you out the opportunity. Shame on you. Watch this, guys. Why Organo Gold? That's a valid question. You're making sense to me, Demond, but I want to understand something. I love my McDonald's and I love Starbucks. So I need to know what's the difference and what does Organo Gold bring to the table that these guys don't? That's a good question. That's valid. There really is, and I'm answering for you. You ready? It's for our exclusive ingredient. It's called Ganoderma. Ganoderma, guys, is the #1 herb on the planet. It's one of the 6 superfoods that's out there. Ganoderma, for you guys that don't know, it's an adaptogen herb. What does that mean? It goes into your body, it seeks out what's wrong, and it goes after it. That's what Ganoderma does. I want you guys to understand something right here. Organo Gold, for all of our first-time visitors and our guests, and also to some of our distributors. Organo Gold is not a coffee company. Organo Gold is a health and wellness Ganoderma-based company. Our flagship product is Ganoderma, is not the coffee. The coffee is only being used as a delivery mechanism to get the health and wellness to the masses through the habit that they already possess. Ingenious. What this company has done is taking their flagship product, which is Ganoderma, and they've infused it into all of our products. And they're helping you become healthier through a habit that you already possess. I'm going to prove it to you guys. Watch this. Devon, you talked about weight loss earlier. I need you to clean that up for us. When your body is infused with Ganoderma, if you were able to try or sample any of our products, over 200 nutrients have entered into your system. You're going to notice that the Ganoderma curbs your appetite. You're not going to have a desire to eat as much as you usually would. That's where the weight loss come in. When you talk about health and wellness, I need you to clean that up. Ganoderma detoxifies your body. It gives it more vigor. It oxygenates your body. It helps with your health and longevity, your circulation, your immune system. Every time your body is infused with Ganoderma. Well, I'm hearing you saying that it's not about the coffee. What other products do you guys have that has Ganoderma in it? We have soap with Ganoderma in it that many people use that have eczema and skin challenges and acne. The word Gano means bright and shiny. Derma means skin. Guys, we have Ganoderma in our toothpaste, OG Smile. We have Ganoderma in our lotions and our vitamins and capsules. I want you guys to go to Yves Saint Laurent's website. For 1.4 ounces of his lotion with Ganoderma in it, $345. What I want you guys to understand on tonight is that Organo Gold's mission is going back to the first slide. Bringing the treasures of the earth to the people of the world. The treasure is the Ganoderma. Did you guys know that over in China, Ganoderma is a national treasure? It has been around for over 4,000 years. It was only at one point reserved for royalty. We want you to understand the company's true mission. So when you hear someone speaking, and they're speaking from an ignorant standpoint, you already know that they've never saw the opportunity. Because you really don't understand the vision of the company. Organo Gold's mission is not about the coffee. It's about the Ganoderma. When I finally saw it, I got it because now they're helping the world become a healthier place. That was truly dynamic to me. Tomorrow, we don't believe you. We need some evidence. This is the health news. It has nothing to do with Organo Gold. Look what it says on the cover, guys. Doctor recommends what? Ganoderma. But also, there's a book out. It's called Ganoderma for what? Life. Right here. Ganoderma for life. Talking about the attributes of what Ganoderma brings. Guys, did you know that Organo Gold just invested $240 million into a brand new Gano Herb Industrial Park? That investment was made with the Chinese government. Do you guys realize that when you're invested with the government, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be okay. They're going to protect their interests. Did you guys also realize that Organo Gold has partnered with one of the world's largest producers of a patented cultivated process of 100% certified organic Ganoderma? This slide right here is for all of our researchers. That sounds so cute when I hear people say that. Oh, well, I just need to go do a little research. Need to go do research, huh? All of a sudden now, when a friend introduces you to an opportunity, you become a financial analyst all of a sudden. You do research, right? But let me share something with you. You didn't research that job that laid you off 6 months ago before you took it. You didn't do any research. You didn't look at the fact that the company books was going in the red and they were going to be laying people off. You just took it. You know why you just took it? Because it was somebody else's vision. We're talking about yours now. You're afraid of that territory. That's why you're going to hide behind research. Why don't you just be honest and tell a person that invited you, hey, listen, I don't have the money or I'm afraid to win. Be honest with them. But don't hide behind research, because what type of research you got to do about coffee? You didn't research Starbucks before you were just in there this morning. It's coffee. Let me share something with you. It blows my mind how people have now made Google their God. Oh no. Watch this. If Google say it can't be done, it can't be done. Is this all you're going to do? Let me help you out. You're going to sit at your computer. People who didn't make money with Organo Gold. Is Organo Gold a scam? Let me tell you something right now. That thing you go through every day from 9 to 5, that's a scam. That's right. No, hold on. I'm not knocking jobs. Let's keep it in context. Let me tell you why it's a scam. I'm going to prove it to you. They're taking something out of your check that some of you guys in the room won't have a chance to receive. Did you guys hear that Social Security will be done by the year 2033? They're running a deficit right now. Did you guys hear that by the year 2024, Medicaid is finished? So now you have people that's paying for something that they're counting on with their retirement that they won't be able to receive, and you still don't want to take matters in your own hands. They already let you know, listen, you're on a dead end. It won't be there when you're ready, but you still go down the street whistling every day. On the work. You guys, let me help you out seriously. According to research, there's nothing you can do. Did you guys know that according to research, they say that most marriages now are ended in divorce, don't get married? Did you know according to research, they say most of the kids that's going to colleges are not finishing, so don't send your kids to school. In other words, according to research, you can't do anything. It comes down to, what does it mean to you? Oh, that's what we're talking about on tonight. Let me help you out on tonight. For all of our researchers, how much more research are you going to do than EcoCert? Because we have their certification. How much more research are you going to do than the United States Department of Agriculture, because we currently have their organic seal? How much more research are you going to do than the Chinese government? We have their organic seal. That's not Circle K up there. That's kosher. The Jewish community, we passed all of their tests. How much more research are you going to do? This is halal, the Muslim community, and this is GMP, good manufacturing practices. Guys, we have too many certifications to list. So please don't hide behind research. You know why with the researchers, what breaks my heart? Is they always want to come back and they want to show you the people who didn't win, the people who didn't make it. I had an attorney friend that called me, guys. This guy's an attorney out of New York. I keep in mind, good friend of mine. Real good friend. We laugh, we joke, we play on the phone. But when he called me this day, he had his courtroom voice on. So I'm looking at the phone like, who is this? I see his name, Damon. Hey, listen. I was just calling you to tell you against my legal and professional advice. I would not get involved with that direct sales company if I was you, because 80% of those people, I stopped him. I said, let me stop you. I said, first of all, don't ever associate me with losing. I said, I'm a winner, that's my birthright. Don't ever try to take that from me. I said, I'm determined whether I lose or not. Organo Gold can't do anything for me that I'm not willing to do for myself. Organo Gold is simply a vehicle to get me where I want to go. I want you to go outside, sit in your car, cut the ignition on, and don't put it in drive. Let's see how far you go. See, I want you guys to grab something on today. If I told each and every last one of you all in here, if you get involved with Organo Gold, you can make $1 million. Still, what does that have to do with you? If you're not willing to do what it takes, it's irrelevant. And I wanted him to understand that if you don't ever want to challenge our friendship, don't ever call me about a losing conversation. You call a loser who has a desire to lose, and you talk to them about losing, not me. You guys remember that 25-year-old kid that was broke? Here's a picture of him inside the Success from Home magazine with his Bentley Continental GT in his driveway to be paid for cash. His Mercedes-Benz S550 that's paid for cash. And his $1 million palatial estate that he owns in Royal Oak subdivision in Houston, Texas. And you're going to talk to me about losing? This was all the research that I needed to do right here. Because I'm already knowing there was nothing that was going to be done for him that couldn't be done for me. See, I focused on winning. I never thought about losing. People always ask, man, you guys came in, you had great success. Did you ever think it wouldn't work? I say, how would I think it wouldn't work? I'm in a win-win situation. Why would I entertain losing when I've already won? All I had to do was walk it out. The victory was already mine. It was predestined. I was born with it. I was born to receive it. So why would I ever accept losing? I don't understand that concept. I don't understand questions like that. That's foreign to my mindset. That's what I want you to understand. You've already won and you believe that. Guys, I want you to see this right here. An array of products that we have. But right here with our products, let me go back. As you can see, our toothpaste, soaps, vitamins and capsules. Here's all of our mochas and lattes and red teas, green teas, and Cafe Supremes, our royal brew, our hot chocolates, all of it's right here. These are the products, guys. Anybody in here that got started with Organo Gold and you have never received your products, raise your hand. Nobody. So that means everybody that gets started, Organo Gold does what they say they're going to do. They only have one obligation, to get the product to you. That's it. The rest is up to you. We want to be clear that you understand that. I love what John C. Maxwell talks about. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Guys, I want you to understand something. You remember that list that I talked about earlier? Businessforhome.org. Do you guys realize that there are over 75 million people in the world that's involved in the industry of direct sales? Do you guys also realize that our executive VP of sales, Mr. Holton Boggs, is currently #2 on the planet? That's amazing. That's amazing. He's #2. Soon he will be #1 in the world by the end of this year. Mr. Bernie Chu is our founder, CEO. Shane Moran is our global master distributor. Here's what I want you to grab on tonight. You ready? There are 2 ways that you get wisdom in this world.